Well, Cam, just briefly back to last Saturday, I would imagine that was a lot of fun to play in that game.
Yeah, definitely. I feel any last minute winner is always a good feeling. Even being off the pitch and everyone running on the pitch and wanting to celebrate with JMO, but you ran the wrong way. So, but yeah, it was a really good feeling and a really good result.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, it's only a couple of years ago. I remember some quotes from he's now sub-goalkeeper, who was talking about you being a soft touch. And even if that last-minute goal goes in, I think everybody knows that's a big change that's happened over the last couple of years.
I think ever since he's made those comments a few years ago, I think we've always gave him a good game at their place. I think there was obviously the one game where we got sort of hammered, and then since then it's been always a tight affair there. So yeah, those sort of comments always give you a little bit of fuel to go and do your best there.
Yeah, but even not just against them, realistically, you go back a year or two and you were conceding too many soft goals, and it's only 3 games into the new season. You can't get too carried away. But for 90 minutes there, even if you hadn't scored, you looked like a really well-drilled unit that weren't going to give away chances, let alone goals.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think as a team, I think we're a lot more solid this year. I think that's shown with the games we've played. We're building a lot more, and I feel like we have a lot more confidence in each other when we have the ball. We're showing we all want to get on the ball. Yeah, it's been a good start to the season.
Because that confidence it's such a big thing, isn't it? Because you can have half a team that's quite comfortable in possession and doing that, and if you know that there are 3 or 4 of you that are not quite at that level, it makes it difficult as a team. Whereas now there's not really any weak links there.
I think we got a really good togetherness this year. As a group, we all want to help each other do well and do the best we can individually as well. So yeah, the togetherness there is definitely a lot higher this year, and yeah, I feel like it's going to be a real good season.
Yeah, and I guess competition for places is always a big part of that, and it all over the pitch wherever you look now. Well, you tell me, you can't feel completely safe of your spot if you're not playing particularly well.
Yeah, and that just pushes you to go again. I think you've seen it with the Preston game, for example. I didn't play obviously my best game, and then Haydon had an absolute worldie on the Wednesday night, and yeah, it's made me reevaluate what I'd done that weekend, and I have to step it up again against Millwall. So yeah, it's definitely good to have competition for places. It pushes everyone and drives them.
Yeah, well, I think you could see that literally. It was from the kick-off, wasn't it? You were on a mission down the left, and was that very much in your mind? It's like, I'm going to try and influence the game in the attacking third as much as defending.
Yeah, definitely. I feel obviously the Preston game, I didn't have any influence on it at all, really. But the Millwall game, I just went into there thinking I've just got to get forward and do my best going forward, but also be solid at the back as well, which I thought I'd done.
Yeah, and realistically, over the course of a 46-game season, there's not one player in the division that's going to have 46 amazing games. But knowing that you've got that competition, and also equally knowing that actually, you know what, if I need a little break, not that any footballers are going to admit that, knowing that there's quality backup and real competition, that's only good for your manager. Yeah,
definitely. It makes his job hard, but that's ultimately what we want. We want competition for places because it drives everyone to play their best and keep performing at their best.
Yeah. And when it goes bad, it's sort of, he's taken my place and all the rest of it. But I think you could see that last minute goal, it always helps. But the bench, all the players, it's a great team atmosphere at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Like I said, the togetherness is definitely there this season, and we feel like it's going to be a real good season.
So you've got 4 points at 6 in the league. Home game coming up. Birmingham, it's been a bit hit and miss with them over the years, hasn't it? You've had some really good wins and a couple of times or a couple of games that I'm sure collectively you'd like to forget.
Yeah, definitely at their place. I feel like we've over the last couple of seasons we haven't really done very well at their place. But last season definitely at our place we done a lot better. Obviously I think it was a 4-2 win, wasn't it? So yeah, we've like you said, hit and miss with them, but they've got a real good squad this season. I think they've started reasonably well as well. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game, but I feel like we've got more than enough to go out there and get the 3 points.
And that little bit of momentum from big cup win and a last minute winner away at a tough team, if you can start getting that going, then who knows where you end up.
Yeah, that's the goal. We need to keep the momentum going and hopefully get the 3 points.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hiya. The transfer window is still open. There's been There was talk earlier in the month about possible like interest from West Ham for you. Is that something that you kind of were aware of? And how does it make you? Is that flattering, or are you thinking I can't get sidetracked by that?
I think it's always flattering when clubs are interested in you, but yeah, it sort of comes as a surprise for me as well, as much as everyone else. I got a message off my friends one day, and that's literally all I heard about it. So yeah, I was just as surprised as everyone else.
Okay, and kind of on the flip side of that, you mentioned about Haydon Roberts having a great game in the cup. Obviously, he's been brought in as a left defender. When you're watching him play really well, are you kind of like, oh, that's really great, but at the same time, are you a little bit kind of, I better watch out here?
I think everyone is always egging each other on to sort of play well and do the best they can for the team. It's more frustration really, because I know what I could have done obviously the game before, and seeing him obviously play that well, it's sort of like an opportunity missed for me. So like I said just a second ago, it's just I need an opportunity to then put it right and do the best I can in the next game.
I mentioned this to the boss a second ago, but I was interested to hear what he thought about the impact that the crowd can have at home games, especially where like you've got a team like Preston did the other day when they're kind of sitting back and the onus is on City. From your point of view, as you're coming down the left wing, especially in the second half with the corner there, what's that like when everyone's rocking and bouncing and kind of cheering you on? How does that impact the game, both for you and Pat? Can you kind of sense it with the opposition as well?
Yeah, I think it has a massive effect. It's not, you don't really hear the crowd too much when you're sort of on the ball, but it's the little snippets, like when you put a big challenge in, you hear them all like get off the seats and start shouting, or when someone's dribbling with the ball or a shot or something. That's when you hear them, but not when you're actually playing. It sort of zone out and don't think about it. But yeah, they have a massive impact. As soon as you can hear that sort of roar, I think it spurs everyone on, and everyone wants to obviously do the best for them more than anything. So yeah, they have a massive impact.
So the message for the fans for Saturday or tomorrow, Saturday, will be kind of
keep singing.
Keep singing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And don't be impatient when we're trying to keep the ball and build. If they're obviously sat in like Preston was, keep singing. Just be patient, because we'll do our best to try and break them down.